up, you guys? How you doing? Gobble gobble, or are we in Merry Christmas? Listen, you guys, welcome to Verdict Watch for the Meg Thee Stallion Tory Lanez trial. Thank you for joining over the holidays. There is so much going on, but the one thing we have to talk about is we're having in-court reporters and lawyers answering your questions as to what really happened in court. They're also going to weigh in about whether they think that Tory or Meg is going to win. It's really actually going to surprise you. Lastly, remember Justin? That was the bodyguard that nobody knew. Remember Justin? Yeah. So guess what, guys? Justin actually just showed up to court during jury deliberations. That's right. Hey, Jolene. Hey, Kat. Hey, Juanita. Justin showed up just moments ago in court during jury deliberations. Now, you know what? We have to actually really talk about this because, y'all, Justin is so stupid and an idiot. He literally had his whole family get harassed by the LAPD. They put the dad in handcuffs. SWAT came to the house looking for him. And this fool, let me read you the report, literally just showed up in court like he was like one of the reincarnated people. Did anybody ever watch Sunset Beach? Or it was NBC. It was a soap opera. Everybody was super good looking. It was ridiculous plots, and I loved every moment of this. Let's get into this, right? Listen, the funny thing is about this, and I will just say this. This is my opinion. It's my opinion, people, right? I'm sure that his dad knew where to find Justin, right? Because after the LAPD SWAT team showed up at his dad's house, magically Justin wanted to appear in the middle of court. But the thing is, it's so stupid. You did all this. You really had your whole family harassed in LAPD just to protect Tory, to protect Tory Lanez. And you know what the fact? LAPD and the district attorney is not done harassing them after the stunt they pulled, right? Especially not if a guilty verdict comes out. Y'all, the lawyers and the court reporters are going to be joining in just 1 minute, but I just wanted to get y'all hyped up and whatever. Let's get into what just came out on Hollywood Unlocked, all right? This is what they're actually saying. Let's get into this, right? Megan Thee Stallion's former bodyguard is speaking out after his former bodyguard's father is speaking out after his son failed to testify last Friday. Harold Edison confirmed that his son had gone missing. In an interview with Good Morning America on Thursday that aired on Friday, Harold explained he had not heard from his son since last Thursday. He said, "My hope is that Justin comes forward so that he doesn't assume the risk we discussed before. I explained to him that this is not worth the risk. We must maintain our integrity," right? Now, Harold Edison's attorney, this is Justin's dad's attorney, Michael Zebick, advised that the court issue a bench warrant for Justin after he failed to appear in court, leading to continual harassment of the Edison family as they searched for Justin. So if you think that when all this happened, that they were just like sitting there, chilling, not doing anything, that LAPD was kicking in the door and waving the 4-4. And literally, the fact that you did all this for Tory Lanez. Now, I know some of y'all might not think that he was going to be sympathetic for Tory Lanez, but let's just look at the facts. Justin didn't show up, right? Who does that benefit? The driver, Juan, didn't show up. Who does that benefit, right? EJ and his testimony. Who did that? Well, I don't even know whose testimony EJ benefited because I don't know. I don't even know if EJ's testimony benefited EJ because he tried to turn the world into his runway and the world resoundingly said, "Boo, that pink blazer don't match with those Beetlejuice striped pants." I digress. Anyway, right? Harold told Justin's dad also said investigators from the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office came to his home with a SWAT team. A SWAT team. This is direct. Investigators from the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office came to his home with a SWAT team and placed him in handcuffs in front of his 8-year-old daughter. Oh, that's sad. And I'm reading this real time if y'all can't tell. Placed him in handcuffs in front of his 8-year-old daughter because Justin's dumb self didn't appear in court. He said, I really want this to stop. This is a clear abuse of law enforcement. We're just praying that Justin returns home safely. Justin magically showed up in court during jury deliberations. So let me get this straight. You couldn't call anybody and tell anybody you were coming to court. You couldn't get in touch with the many people that are trying to track you down. You decided to turn up in court during jury deliberations. And listen, it's not fair. It's not right. It's not okay. Hear me when I say this. Abuse of power is never okay. The police kicking the door and waving the 4-4, handcuffing you in front of your 8-year-old daughter, it is an abuse of power. But this is why I worry for Justin and I worry for Kelsey too. The fact that for whatever reason, Tory's team, in my opinion, maybe it wasn't Tory's team, maybe it was their stupidity. It seemed like it was Tory's team to me. Had these people walking around thinking that they could basically spit in the face of justice, the DA is the DA. Okay, they are not angels. They are people with an agenda. And the last thing, and they're people with egos. And the fact that you came into somebody's job, why everyone's watching and made a fool of them. And now these people have power to get you back. And did you honestly think that it would just end with that? Do you not think the DA is not going to be on Kelsey for perjury charges if they can get her? Do you not think that the DA is not going to look for anything they can get Kelsey on to bang her up? Did you think you were going to disappear and your family not be harassed? It's not right that they are harassed. Just listen to what I'm saying. But how the hell did you think you were going to do that and play these like reindeer games, shout out to Christmas, and play these reindeer games? And how did you not think that was going to happen? Listen, let me tell y'all something. All those people saying, hold on really quick. Hello? Hey, I'm on live. What's up? Yes, I'm on a live. Okay, you guys, they called me to tell me they're reading Tory Lanez's verdict in 30 minutes. The verdict is going to be read in 30 minutes. Okay, thank you. Bye. The verdict's going to be read in 30 minutes, y'all. Listen, my court reporters and the lawyer was just told to come back up for the verdict. Yeah, we're going to have firsthand accounts. So let's keep going with Verdict Watch. And then when I have the court reporter and the lawyer on, you guys can ask them all the questions about what went well, what didn't. I got to tell you guys, I do hope that Meg Thee Stallion wins. I do believe Tory shot her. I looked at the evidence, not from the blogs, but from what the real, like the actual court blogs that follow this type of stuff, that cannot lie about the stuff because their credibility is at stake. I listened from what I saw for the testimony and actually talking to reporters and lawyers that were in the courthouse. Okay. I do think that Tory did it. I hope that they come back with a guilty verdict. However, we know what happens with the law. It's not always fair. It's not always just. And sometimes it's above me and you just don't understand it. I think Tory did it. The whole thing about Kelsey shooting her, even the eyewitness, Mr. Kelly, he was the British guy that said he saw it from his window. Let's go through why I think if Kelsey shot her, then Tory shot her too. He said that he saw some girls what looked like fighting, okay? I'm not going to get into how this corroborates what Megan and Kelsey said, because in the dark, everything, when you see everybody arguing and fussing, you really don't know who's it coming from, right? But just listen to the whole thing about Kelsey shot her. The guy said that he thought he saw one firecracker or bang bang go off while the girls were tussling. That's one. Then he specifically said he saw Tory with the bang bang in his hand, and he heard him shoot about 4 or 5 times. He's not certain. Megan had bullets in her feet. Bullets, not one. So the guy saying was eyewitness, he saw Kelsey, let's just say, Kelsey shoot once. There is the alternative thing that Tory shot, and he shot in between Kelsey. But let's just say that what all the Tory people, aficionados, the Leprechaun King aficionados are saying is right? Yeah. Let's just say that what the Leprechaun King is saying, right? You know, he's only 5'2", and every time that guy Kelly was testifying, he was like, and then the really short guy, The small guy, the smallest guy got out of the car. I thought Tory was like 5'6". I had no idea he was 5'2". Now I see why everybody was making leprechaun me and lollipop guild jokes. Little did I know I was spot on, right? Okay, so listen, Neek, I want to talk about this. Let's actually talk about this, right? Neek, she had fragment. It's a difference. No, Neek, you need to actually go to the New England Journal of Medicine. You cannot get bullet fragments in your body without a bullet being there. Do you know that when you are shot, even if the bullet passes through, if it hits any type of bone, it hits it and it fragments. You cannot have bullet fragments in your body without having a bullet in your body or pass through your body. Don't argue with me. Argue with Google. The bullet fragments are not like dropping a glass and you step on a piece of glass. The bullet must pass through your body. It can either get lodged in your body, stop because the bone stopped it, or it can hit bone on the way out and go clear through, but it hits bone. That's why, if I can say something, she had to have emergency operation. Don't argue with me. Listen, I have doctors in my family. I don't have to lie about this, and you guys can Google this, okay? If you don't want to Google it, then you're going to have to hear me talk mess all day, okay? I actually did a video where I actually pulled up the Journal of Medicine that explains, because they go on to say that when you have bullet fragments, the reason why you need surgery immediately is because the bullet fragments are lead based, and you have to remove that lead out of your body immediately, or it has catastrophic effects on your body. You cannot have fragments of bullets. This is not Terminator, okay? There's no liquid bullets that go and then split into 8 pieces, then come back together. This is not Terminator. You cannot have bullet fragments without a bullet passing through your body. Also, I know I'm getting hyped. Let me calm down. I just want to say this. It's actually been, Tory is not arguing that Megan was shot. Tory is not arguing that she has multiple bullets in her feet. You realize that, right? You realize when you go into court, you can either accept, you can deny, or you can plead an affirmative defense. Affirmative defense is saying yes, but. Yes, but. So let's just say we're saying, yo, you ate the cookies, right? And you standing there like Tory Lanez Leprechaun King with crumbs dripping off your face. There's only 3 things you can do. You can either say, yes, I ate the cookies. You can say, no, I didn't eat the cookies. Or you can say, yes, I ate the cookies, but. An affirmative defense is saying, yes, I did it, but I had a legally excusable reason to do it. All right. So is everybody cool on what affirmative defenses are? All right. Now let's take it a step further. So somebody sues you, right? You get back with, you either say in the affirmative, you deny, or you have affirmative defenses. Once that happens, then you go in front of the judge for 2 things. 1, for discovery, and 2, for the trial calendar. The discovery is because there can't be anything surprise, right? That's when both sides have to show their cards. You can't have surprise witnesses. You have to show your cards. And why? Because you're giving each side enough time to discuss and also to investigate, right? So that's discovery. There's also a trial calendar. The trial calendar, okay, sets the pace of the court. So the trial doesn't go for years. It literally tells you, okay, this is approximately, barring a few surprises, when it's going to happen. Why is that important? Because if you guys look at Tory's team responses, the actual court documents, they are not denying that Megan was shot. They're not denying that Megan had bullets in her feet. They are saying, yes, all those things Megan said are true. But we are saying that Tory didn't do it. That's all. So all this stuff about, oh, it's fragments, there's a difference. All this stuff about, oh, the only thing that they were arguing was Tory didn't do it. They accepted there were bullets. They accepted they were shot. They accepted that she got shot in both feet. They didn't argue this in court. The only thing, that's why the prosecutor stood there and said, this trial is over who shot Megan. All right? Argue with your mom. I'm just saying. And yes, I do have doctors in my family. They can tell you about bullet fragments. You cannot get bullet fragments in your feet without being shot. There must be a bullet that passes through your body and ricochets off of something to get bullet fragments. Y'all stop getting your knowledge from Terminator. There's no such thing as bullets that split into 12 and then come back together. Okay? Anyway, listen. Anyway, let's talk about whether Kelsey shot Meg or not, because I think this is something important that we need to get back on. Don't worry, you guys. I'm watching it. The verdict's about to come out. They said it was coming out in 30 minutes. That was 10 minutes ago. They're going to read it. We're going to have legal analysis, and we're going to have lawyers on here live to answer your questions. And they were actually in court the whole trial, so you can really hammer them with questions. I'm praying that it is guilty, because I think what actually happened was domestic violence. I do. Everybody keeps trying to make it seem like, oh, and again, I understand why Meg lied about sleeping with the Lollipop King. Like, I don't know why she wanted to taste the rainbow. Can you imagine being with a man and he's working up sweat and his bold hole glue starts creeping up and you're looking at his lace front starting to wave at you? Can you imagine that? That's what our good sis Megan did. Now, let's just say her mom died, her grandmother died, she developed a drinking habit, and it was the pandemic. I'm saying she was insane, but even if she went at 5'2", Tory was being flipped, smacked, rub it all down. Like, Tory was the one being, like, Tory was the pocket size, the pint size, the fun size. Yo, listen, but honestly, right? Everybody keep wanting to make it think that Megan let Tory hit. Yes, that is something to be embarrassed of, okay? But it's her body. Again, if she wanted to taste the rainbow, let her taste the rainbow. It's her body. But I understand how she had to be under oath to do it, right? But all jokes aside, the fact that they had an intimate relationship, the fact that she now has bullets, to me, I don't know where y'all raised, but to me, that sounds like domestic violence. It really does. And it makes me sad that Megan was so ashamed of sleeping with Tory. I don't care that she lied about sleeping with Tory, because let me tell you something. You lie about who you slept with, okay, fine. That was a lame move, but it's different than lying about shooting somebody. It really honestly is, right? You lie about, like, it's like somebody lying about whether they ate the cookies and somebody lying about whether they stole my parents' pension fund. All lies are not created equal. I'm just sorry to say, you guys grow up. We live in the real world. People lie. People lie. People lie on first dates. People lie about who they slept with. People lie. It's different than lying about something that's super, super serious, okay? That's just my opinion. But anyway, getting back to Megan and the Lollipop Guild, right? It's sad that Megan was so, but understandable, that Megan was so ashamed of sleeping with Tory that she could have literally gotten him with a domestic violence charge. But she didn't want anybody to know that he was chopping it down. Again, mistakes were made. Megan's biggest mistake was trying to protect him, okay? And another thing, everybody's saying that Tory is trying to protect Kelsey. Let's walk through this, shall we? And then we're going to talk about the bullets, because there were more than one bullet. The guy said Kelly, who is the witness, let's start with this. Kelly, who's the witness, said that he saw one time that looked like firecrackers going off, right? One time. Then he saw Tory with a gun in his hand. He ID'd him, and he shot 4 to 5 times. Even if both of them had the gun, let's just say, and let's not forget that gun, you need 8.9 pounds of pressure to make the bullet go boom, okay? So all y'all saying, oh my God, they were just fumbling over the gun. The forensic expert came in. You need 8.9 pounds of pressure exerted on the trigger, boom, to make it go boom, okay? So there's no accidental. If anybody knows but you need pressure to exert. I grew up, I've been to the firing range. Anybody that's actually had experience in firearms, you know that the gun Tory had 8.9 pounds of pressure. So it couldn't have been, oops, right? Second of all, Kelsey was maybe, if we believe the witness, ID'd with one bullet going off. Tory had 4 to 5. That gun only holds 5 bullets. The clip was emptied. Megan has more than one bullet, right? I feel like I'm in the middle of Nas one mic when he was like 27 went into you. That's 16 apiece. That's 32. 27 went into you, 6 went into your crew. Remember one mic? All I need is one mic. Am I? Okay, it's fine, right? All I need is one mic, one mic, okay, fine, I'll stop. We'll be serious. That was the John, but I feel like I'm literally body and hood poly. Okay, fine, I'll stop quoting one mic lyrics, but I feel like I'm doing the lyrics to one mic. Anyway, 27 went to you, 6 hit your crew. Everybody gotta die sometime. Hope your funeral never get bought up. But okay, fine. Okay, so listen, right? So here's my whole thing, right? Here's my whole thing. So Kelsey at most hit 1 bullet. There's 2 bullets. Kelsey has use immunity, right? Tory doesn't. This happens all the time. Guess who's going to jail, right? That's right. The Atlanta Creole said we need to lock that Keebler elf up. That's right. In time for Christmas, please. We don't need no more mint, Toll House, cookie elves, fudge in the middle. Get out of here, Tory. Thank you so much, the Atlanta Creole. But anyway, shout out to One Mic. I want to play that song, but I know I'm going to get hit for copyright. Anyway, my whole point in saying this, right, besides me trying to like recite Nas, Kelsey only could have had 1. Tory had 4 or 5. It only holds 5. So we got 1 bullet on Kelsey by the witness. That's even if you want to believe him. We got 1 bullet on Kelsey. We got 4 on Tory. The guy said 425. We got 4 on Tory, 1 on Kelsey. Meg got more than 1 bullet in her feet. Kelsey got immunity, use immunity, not transactional. Use is just for that limited purpose of testimony. Transactional is what you're seeing in like mob movies where like they come up and they're like, yeah, I was the hitman. I did it. I'll do it again. And they're out like, you know, Tony Macaroni is out walking free. You see what I'm saying? No. That's transactional immunity. Kelsey has use immunity. They can still hit her for perjury. And I'm surprised they won't. But my whole point of the matter is, yeah, so Tory still got at least 1 bullet with his name on it. And again, Tory's not arguing that Meg wasn't shot. And Tory's not arguing that Meg didn't have bullets pass through both her feet. Tory's not arguing any of that. Tory, hey, Rim, thank you so much for the super sticker. Listen, thank you. Also, Tory Lanez is known to have anger issues. And you want to talk about liars, because we'll get into that. Tory Lanez beat August Agustina out, whatever his name is. You know, the entanglements, right? He beat him up, bloodied him, then told everybody that it couldn't have been him because he wasn't even in the building. And cops were really sitting there being like, boy, we got you on closed camera. What are you talking about? Tory Lanez is a violent person. And let's also not forget, Tory Lanez is rumored to have a drug problem. I'm just saying. Now, I don't know for a fact if he has a drug problem, but again, let me not say that. I could have sworn, I don't know if it's been verified though, the people said he had a problem with whatever. But even if he's not, that makes it worse that he was sober, acting like a Keebler elf on methamphetamines, literally just shooting sprinkles, shooting that hammer like rainbows was coming out of it. Like, can you imagine a 5'2" man? And for everybody saying, oh, well, he was afraid. First of all, with self-defense. And Megan was charging at him. I get it because he's pocket sized, but you wasn't afraid when she was charging at you in the bedroom. So boy, shut up. But second of all, oh, this is what I wanted to bring up. This is really important. This came out in testimony and a lot of blogs didn't cover it. This is important. Hold on. Let me just get this joke off. Then we can move on, okay? So let's get into this, right? Tory, when in self-defense, if somebody's coming at you, you are allowed to use deadly force. Sorry, Argentina. The Argentinians are still, I'm overseas. The Argentinians are still celebrating like the World Cup. Anyway, when you engage in deadly force is anything that can result, a reasonable person under the circumstances would expect it to result in, result in some type of either grave bodily injury or even death, right? A gun is one of those things, just like a knife is. You are allowed to engage in deadly force if somebody is invading your home, right? Fine. In Florida, you can do it even if you're in an argument, right? And even if they retreat, that's called the stand your ground laws, but that's only in Florida. But let's actually talk about what Tory's whole thing is. You can't even say it was self-defense, even though he is pocket sized, right? Because by everybody's account, Meg had turned away and was walking away. And then that's where you heard bang, bang, bang. Unless you are in Florida, when for self-defense, for you to be able to use like grave bodily force, when they are attacking you, you can do it. But if they retreat, You are not allowed to use deadly force. You're not. And you're not allowed to use any instrument which will result in grave bodily injury or when they are retreating from it. The only time you can do that is if you're in Florida, stand your ground, or if somebody broke into your house and they're trying to leave and you can literally stand your ground in your house. But outside of that in LA, you are not allowed to do that. Okay. Now, this is what's interesting, right? And I find it interesting that a lot of blogs left this out, but the court reporters actually talked about it. Do you know in Kelsey's testimony, not her in-court testimony, but in the testimony that was like that 80-minute tape that everybody kept talking about, do you know that she described the way that Tory beat her? Do you know they showed pictures in court? Do you know that Tory ripped Kelsey's hair out from the scalp? It was blood. Her hair got ripped out from the scalp. Kelsey's hair got ripped out from the scalp. He was beating her and choking and dragging her by her neck. They showed the pictures. She was black and blue. Tory literally tried to take out Kelsey. This is another reason of Kelsey's anger at Meg, because remember how Kelsey kept saying she wasn't the only one that was injured. She wasn't the only one that's hurt. Now, I'm not making excuses for Kelsey because Meg did do her dirty in a lot of ways. She did. But I still think it's incredibly dark-hearted that you're going to let someone that pulled your hair out from the scalp and beat you black and blue. The pictures were presented in court as evidence. You're going to literally let somebody that shot somebody walk around the open public like a predator? I don't care what listen, yes, Tory was beating both of them. That's why. Hey, it's finally story time. Cheryl Williams, thank you so much for the super chat and happy holidays to you. Listen, let me just tell my people to keep an eye on this. Hold on. So Tory, and funny thing is, and this is, I think, what Megan was talking about the blogs not reporting everything. And I'm not criticizing any blogs. I'm a blog too. Like, we do what we do, right? But I am saying I can see how it's like, how come you guys are only reporting bad stuff that happens to Meg? How come you guys didn't report the fact that Tory was beating both of them up? Kelsey actually said that, who's the driver? I forget his name all of a sudden. The driver, whatever his name is, starts with a J, had to literally pull Tory off of her. And after he shot Meg, he was so scared. She was so scared, and she went into defense mode, and she threw herself in front of it to stop Tory because she didn't know what Tory was going to do to her. And that's when Tory started beating her butt, ripped her hair out of her scalp. You guys, argue if you're moms, if you want. This is actually admitted into evidence. There were pictures of her hair pulled out from her scalp. What type of animal pulls hair out from the scalp and bruised up? The bodyguard had to, Kelsey actually said in that 80-minute tape that her and Tory were tussling. The bodyguard had to pull Tory off of her. And he told Kelsey when she was screaming, Meg, he told Kelsey, yo, knock it off. This is what they do. Calm down. This is what they do. That's what he told Kelsey. That's what Kelsey testified in that 80-minute tape with the prosecutor. He said, this is what they do. And then Kelsey testified on the 80-minute tape that she then saw Tory walk up to Meg. They had a conversation. And then Meg got up and got in the car and was bleeding everywhere. Yeah. So again, I understand why Kelsey felt so mad at Meg. Like, you made a fool of me. You were pushing me off on this guy. I mean, let's talk facts. You were pushing me off on this guy. You were encouraging me to talk to him, and you were hitting him on the thing. You were hitting him on the side. That's super, super grimy. I'm not saying that Meg is auditioning to be Mother Teresa in the next nativity play. I'm not saying that she is literally auditioning to be the Virgin Mary. She did some messed up things, but none of those things, and I repeat, none of those things weren't by any stretch of the world. What world do y'all live in that bullets in the feet is punishment for what? Snaking your girlfriend? Is punishment for what? Lying? Is punishment for what? Being grimy or shiesty? What is that punishment for? What world do y'all live in? Who the hell, like, I don't understand. Sometimes people be acting that. I feel like it's because like people be acting like people are God. In what world, no matter what she did, and this is my issue with Kelsey. I get that Meg snaked you, and I get that, but I feel like you're incredibly dark-hearted that you leave someone that is basically a violent person that beat you up out on the street because you're mad at whatever you and Meg went through. I think it's dark-hearted. I also, even if I'm not going to make a moral judgment about being dark-hearted, I also think that it's incredibly stupid because the same way the LA SWAT team pulled up at Justin Daddy's house and handcuffed him in front of his 8-year-old daughter because Justin wanted to play games. The same way that it's not over and the LAPD and the DA is going to harass everybody Justin knows because they're petty like that. It's the same way, Kelsey, you got them on your butt too. You got them on your butt. You should be glad you live in Houston, but baby, good luck ever coming to LA. And even if you perjured yourself and did everything, you better pray, you better pray, you better pray that you leave. I would leave LA as soon as possible. Kelsey, hey, Dr. Payne Nestor, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Liberia, what's up? Happy holidays. I want to say gobble gobble, but I guess I'll say ho ho ho. Thank you so much, you guys. I just don't understand. Listen, again, my thing is, listen, short men really are a trip. Liberia, I hate you. I hear you, and I know the short men are cursing me out, and so are the pick-me's. Y'all can be mad if y'all want, but these are the facts. I don't understand. Even I could admit when Tory had a good day. I think the third video I did was like, oof, this wasn't good for Meg. I was really worried. But when she came back, I reported it. The fact that y'all literally somehow think by yelling at people, bullying people, harassing people, that's going to change the facts of the matter. I don't understand. Like, I just don't understand. If anything, it's just like, it's crazy. Listen, again, the fact that somehow people are turning this into justice for men, is that what you think being a man is? You think being a man is when you get your ego bruised, that you can like put bullets in someone? That's what y'all think being a man is? Man, go fix a TV or put some IKEA furniture together. You listen. I don't know what God you worship, but you need one in your life. Please go seek help. Go build some IKEA set. Knock on your neighbor's door. I'm sure somebody got some IKEA stuff sitting on the corner that they purchased 4 months ago and still didn't put together because they didn't want to pay the assembly fee. Please go fix something. I just don't understand. There's all these people. I grew up surrounded by men, people that were strong enough and worthy enough to have that moniker, to be a man. Just like being a woman. I'm sorry, let's use some misogyny. Being a female does not make you a woman. Being a woman does not make you a mother. Having something in between your legs that hangs down does not make you a man. A man is protective. A man is strong. A man is your rock. Do you know how many times things when we were little hit the fan and everybody freaked out except for dad because he was the rock? Now, don't get me wrong. When you saw daddy crying, you knew. Oh, I only saw it once. You knew that things were bad. But do you understand I think we have different definitions of what a man is. A man, as much as people like to say emotion over facts, because I see the trolls out there, and I believe they are paid trolls, emotion over facts. The fact that you need Meg to be harmed, even though the facts are telling you that Tory probably did it. Tory probably did it. He got ID, the gun's in his name. Let's talk about the way we keep confusing gunshot powder with DNA. Gunshot powder was found on Kelsey and Tory. This corroborates what the guy that witnessed it said, right? He said he saw both of them had it. They both had gunshot powders. Let's talk about that DNA. The DNA didn't come back negative. Now, I know a lot of people watch Law and Order and they think they have it. Let me tell y'all something. Inconclusive does not mean no. In a court of law, that's why there's 3 categories. There's yes, there's no, and there's inconclusive. You guys realize that. It's not just a placeholder. Don't put words. The absence of one thing is not evidence of another. You understand that, right? The absence in court of law, the absence of a yes does not mean it's a no. It's just the absence of a yes. It was found to be inconclusive. They actually found a bunch of people's DNA evidence on the gun, a bunch of people's. It was inconclusive because there was so much DNA on the gun from different people that it was inconclusive as to whether that was Tory's DNA. Inconclusive does not mean negative. It just means that there's so much stuff going on, they can't tell one way or the other. If it's inconclusive, the jury cannot use that as a no, and the jury cannot use that as a yes. Y'all can get mad at me if y'all want, but those are the facts in law. It doesn't mean no, but it doesn't mean yes either. It just means that if someone in the jury, because when the jury comes out, the jury just can't be like, looks guilty to me or looks innocent. They have to write down how they came to the conclusion, and they have to point to the specific facts that were entered into evidence and argued by the lawyers as to what helped them get their conclusion. You just can't be like, I don't know. It was inconclusive. So that means the jurors cannot use that as a yes or a no. It means there's no way to tell. That's what inconclusive means. You guys stop watching Law and Order and just Google a law definition. I swear to God, it's not that hard. This is publicly available knowledge. Anybody that cares to know can have it. I'm just saying. I do think, here's the thing, a mistrial, I think would be great for Megan because the prosecution can come back full force and body everybody. Body everybody. And Justin and the driver and all those people will be forced to join, and they can do more research. I do think the DA didn't do a good job on this case. They treated it like it was a bunch of nothings. They failed to realize the stuff that was going on in the background. The DA bumbled this case. They did. Tory's lawyers are jokes. I don't even know why, but I see why Sean Hawley left the case. I would have left the case too. But hold on, let's see. Okay. There's still no verdict, but it's coming out soon. It's coming out soon. But let me read you a little bit more about what I saw. Let's see. Who says it's going to sue the LAPD? Yeah, that's another thing. They can't sue the LAPD. Do you realize, even though everybody said I was lying, but I was telling the truth, do you realize that when Justin didn't show up, I don't know why people were giggling at Justin posting pictures of him in Qatar, when he was scheduled to be in court. The fact that they tried to make a mockery, do some of y'all not know the way court works? You really thought the court was going to be like, oh, damn, he ain't here. Oh, well, no, baby, there's subpoenas. There's something called a body attachment, which is a bench warrant. I'm sure a lot of Dusties in the chat, man or woman, know that they use them for child support too. A body attachment is basically an arrest warrant. They're pretty much functioning the same thing, only the underlying causes are different. And an arrest warrant, the judge says that the state can seize your body because of criminal charges against you that you must come to court and answer for. And for whatever reason, you refuse to come to court on your own accord. A body attachment is the same thing. The only difference is you can do body attachment, or some people call them bench warrants. The only difference is there's no criminal charges behind it. So you see what I'm saying? So one is like, we want you in court because you're wanted for murder. Get in here, and you skipped your court date. Body attachment is saying you're wanted in court for something, but there's no criminal charges. So you're technically not in trouble, but the court is saying get your ASS over here. Now, here's the thing with the body attachment. If you defy the body attachment, even though there were no criminal charges that motivated it, if you defy a body attachment, the court can attach criminal charges for you defying the body attachment, because you are now defying the court's order. And as a citizen of any state in America, we all, as a construct of our citizenship, we all say that courts have jurisdiction over us. We all agree that we will adhere to what the courts say. So if the courts want to arrest you, fine. As a condition of citizenship in America, when the court summons you, you agree to come. If you don't like that, you can either move out the country, you can, what do you call it? Get rid of your own citizenship. What do they call it? Not an expat, but not an expat. What do you call it when somebody completely gives up their citizenship? Like a man without a nation. It's in my head. I can't think of it. You can do that, right? But it's too late for Justin. Justin can't sue the LAPD for anything. The SWAT team showed up because he was in violation of the body attachment. He had a subpoena to be in court. He ignored that. He goes, and he had a body attachment. Y'all can keep playing with this shit like this is Law and Order Special Victims Unit. The SWAT gonna be kicking your family's door in too. The district attorney has the LAPD as their henchman to go do their bidding. So when the district attorney, it's just like the federal people. When a federal prosecutor wants you, they try to get you there nicely. If not, they send them boys called the U.S. Marshal to literally parachute through your roof and to sit there and have you like literally assuming the position while your mom's crying. What's going on? Why was Justin so stupid? And the fact that now you are on the bad side of the DA, I would move out of California. I'd be like, I don't even want to get stopped by a police officer. I would literally be packing my bags and looking for see how much an Airbnb is in Thailand, right? Listen. Oh, thank you. Thank you. A sovereign citizen. Thank you, Dana Byron. Sovereign citizen. There you go. Listen, there you go. And let me tell y'all something. A lot of people are mad at Meg because Tory's being prosecuted. I just want to explain to you the way criminal charges work. A private citizen cannot sue somebody for criminal stuff. The only people that can do that are the city, the state, or the country. So it's federal, state, local. Those are the only people that can bring up charges against you. Do you understand that even after everything we know, and Megan had come in and been like, you know what? Never mind. I'm stupid. I was sleeping with them. The D made me crazy. And they did everything all these Tory haters wanted to do. Do you know the prosecutor will still be like, okay, that's fine. And you might be okay with being shot, miss, but we cannot have a violent individual walking around society that every time they're insulted at being part of the Lollipop Guild, they want everybody, they want to like let that hammer start shooting rainbows. We can't have that person in society. So even though you're okay with being the R word, you might be okay with being assaulted. You might be okay with being robbed. We cannot have people that are artists. We cannot have people that assault people. We cannot have people robbing people walking around in the general public because we don't represent you, Megan Thee Stallion. Yes, you are the example we're making because it happened to you, but we are representing society. And the fact that some of y'all want to live in a society where people can shoot people because it was a jealous lover's quarrel, I don't understand. No. Hold on. I need a water. Anyway, right? Wait, did it get to not guilty? Hold on. Who's saying not guilty? Let's see. Okay, these are obviously paid bots saying not guilty. Wait, no, still no. We don't know. And honestly, y'all, this is what I don't understand about the Tory Lane bots, misinformation, the people. Listen, I don't care if I'm lied to. I really don't. Because half the time when people lie to me, I know they're lying to me. But if it's an amusing lie, if it's a lie with flair, if it's a lie that I'm like, well, you really put some effort into this lie, then I'll allow it and I won't call you out on it because it amused me. I literally do get amused, like, that was a good one. Or sometimes you ever see somebody that just be like, Soldier Boy lie. And then I came through and I was like, pop, 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 pop. I'll allow it and I won't call people out because I'm like, you amuse me. Or I'll be like, wow, that was a good lie. You put a lot of effort into covering your bases. The thing about the Tory Lane people and bots that annoy me so much, and I'm not even arguing whether he's innocent. I'm talking about the stupidity of the bots. I do believe they're paid bots defending him. Like the people putting not guilty in the thing. Tory Lane was charged with 3 things. Not guilty of what? Can you put the counts? Can you put the charges in? You can't, can you? Because all you was paid to do is say, not guilty, not guilty, no, facts over emotion, you're biased. That's what all y'all pay. That's all y'all can say. Even if somebody's like, you're a liar, facts over emotion, then tell me how you think I'm wrong. But that's the thing. You can't even pick out in a logical argument what's wrong. And again, if this does not apply to you, fine. But it's almost like even you're attacking me, but attack my argument. Tell me where I'm wrong in the testimony. Tell me where I'm wrong with the bullets and fragment. Tell me when I'm wrong with the DNA results. Tell me where I'm wrong with the gunshot evidence. Tell me where I'm wrong with the eyewitness testimony. Tell me where I'm wrong with Kelsey's perjury. Tell me where I'm wrong with Justin and him pissing off the DA. Tell me where I was wrong about the body attachment when y'all said that lying. He's not wanted by the police, blah, blah, blah. Tell me where I'm wrong. But all you so want me to be wrong. You feel I'm wrong. Down to the top of your lace fronts to the bottom of your athlete's foot toes. You want me to be wrong so bad. But that's fine. I'm not saying I'm God, right? I could be wrong, but tell me where I'm wrong. Just tell me. Dr. Nestor said, super sad to me. Tory's lawyers, his and Kelsey's, only presented Kelsey as a shooter after she had a deal. If she did it the entire time, why didn't he say so? On day one, scheme by attorney. Thank you, Dr. Payne Nestor. Let's get back on track. Because here's my whole thing. Kelsey gave a statement to the DA that Tory was a shooter. And she gave an 80-minute tape, which everybody said they were in tears because there was a lot of emotion in Kelsey's voice. She did not sound like she was lying, right? So that happened. And that's all good. That happened, and that's all good. Tory had that evidence. Y'all want me to believe that the Leprechaun King, Mr. Lucky Charms himself, the head of the Lollipop Guild, lawyer, heard Kelsey saying Tory was a shooter. Tory shot her, and he beat me up, and he did this, and Tory decided not to clearly say it was Kelsey. Tory decided to take the rap for a woman that he was not even claiming. Tory decided to take a rap for a woman when he could have easily just told the truth and said it was Kelsey. Why do you think he didn't say it wasn't Kelsey? Do you think maybe because, let's think about this. Tory Lanez is looking at losing his music career, any entry into America, maybe even custody of his son, and going away for a little time and not seeing his son. On top of having to be in jail and losing income for years. And Tory decided to throw all that away. Whoever he's seeing, whoever he's laying up, his son, his mother, his family, his life, his livelihood. He decided to throw all that away to protect a woman that 2 months before said it was you and said she saw you do it. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I mean, if you think about it, it's almost like, guys, just follow me. It's almost like he didn't say it because it wasn't true. It's almost like he couldn't say it because it wasn't true. It's almost like if he had said that, Kelsey would have doubled down. It's almost like that. Okay, let's see. Hold on. Let's see what the trial is. Hold on. Let's get the thing. Woo! Tory Lanez is guilty of all 3 counts. Wow, you guys. Tory Lanez is guilty on all 3 counts. He is guilty on all 3 counts, you guys. Listen, I have a special guilty thumbnail that I have prepared for the situation. Let me make this guilty thumbnail really quick. Let me make this guilty thumbnail and put it up. We're going to sit here and have a celebration. I'm going to log off, not right now, but in a few minutes, and then meet me back on my channel because I want everybody to see the guilty. Tory Lanez is guilty on our charges. He is guilty as sin. What's I got to say now? What you know what? Let me drop a call link because I want to hear the Tory apologies. Come up here and literally eat some humble pie. I wanted he to see y'all eat that. And you know what? Megan is now coming. Oh. Woo! Somebody put on Meek Mill's Dreams and Nightmares. I used to pray for times like this. Woo! Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought that was finished? When it doesn't. Okay, let me stop being hype, right? Look at them. All of them hype. Somebody put on Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mills. Come on, let's do it. You ready? Let's go. You guys, he's guilty on all. And let me tell you something. Megan got a beast of the attorney, Alex Spiro. Next up, Megan's going to sue him civil court and take away every drop of gold that man has from his little bucket. Woo! Put on Meek Mill's Dreams and Nightmares. Let's make this thing go. Make it pop. He is guilty as sin. Woo! He is guilty. Y'all, hold on. You guys, is huge. The elf on the shelf is done. Woo! Listen, who said this? said he got locked up because he was black. Look, let me tell y'all something. Y'all live in America. We all know what it is. If you don't want to be locked up because you're black, don't shoot women in the Hollywood Hills because you're mad that your skills are trash. F quarantine radio, your skills are trash, and you're this power-carrying member of the Lollipop Guild. Please, now Megan's about to go into the civil trial. Shout out to little Kayla. Make his pockets hurt. The funny thing is, Tory tried to offer Megan $1 million payoff. Megan's like, baby, I'm taking everything in that bank account and your son's lunch money. Make his pocket hurt. Shout out to little Kayla. Listen. 100% he's going to be deported. First he's going to do jail here, and he's never going to be able to do another show in America. Y'all better support him on his quarantine radio. Seriously, Joe Budden talking about I don't like Megan. That y'all that was going up for Joe Budden. Yeah, I know. Let me just say this because it's been on my chest. Joe Budden was the same person, literally pleasuring his dog. Yes, bragging about he liked to pleasure his dog so his dog wasn't so antsy. Man, please. Talking about he don't like that woman. Baby, your dog don't like you. Joe Budden is the R word to his dog. Does your dog give you permission to touch him like that? I'm just saying. Rim, thank you so much for the super chat. Simply Not, thank you so much for the super chat. So what should we do, y'all? Should we stay? Or you know what? What am I doing? We don't have to leave this live. Let me change the thumbnail real quick for y'all so everybody knows what's going on, y'all. This is crazy. This is crazy how much that people fought for this leprechaun. You guys, it's amazing to me. It's crazy to me. I want to bring some of y'all up to actually, where are y'all at? To talk about this. Because listen, are y'all ready to pop? But you know what? That's the thing. All the Dutsies that were in the trial talking about, oh my God, y'all gonna feel real stupid. Where y'all at now? I still don't feel stupid. I wouldn't have felt stupid even if he had been found innocent. But I'm so glad that something happened to show that you cannot shoot a black woman. You cannot shoot a woman. You cannot shoot a human being, whatever level you need this to be on to connect. Because your ego, because of your pride, because of your whatever. You just can't do it. You just can't do it, y'all. Yeah, listen, we knew this was going to happen. Yes, look at me talking trash. Shut up. Let me have my victory lap. What were the things that did it? The eyewitness ID'd Tory with the gun. Kelsey tried to get on stage and do some dumb stuff. However, Kelsey's 80-minute testimony was super, super powerful. You felt her tears. You felt how she was scared. She was recounting every detail. So the fact that she got on stage on the camera and was like, I don't know. Who am I? Huh? God, is that Jesus? Is that you? No. Kelsey got all that popping off, right? Okay, great. Then we go into Megan. As much as the blogs tried to make it seem like Megan was done for testimony. And first of all, I told y'all Tory's lawyers was stupid. I swear to God, I feel like Tory got his lawyers from the same school that Olga got her lawyers. Do you know there was even one moment in the trial where Tory's lawyers, when they were cross-examining Kelly, that's the British guy that said he saw Tory with the bang bang, right? The prosecutor started laughing while he was being cross-examined. Tory's lawyers turned around and said, yeah, keep laughing. I'm going to give you something to laugh about. He told the prosecutor, the defense lawyer, keep laughing. I'm going to give y'all something to laugh about. Let's also not forget that Tory's lawyers, much like Tasha K's lawyer, Olga, right? Don't ever anybody hire Olga. They weren't even criminal defense lawyers. They were personal injury lawyers, which means personal injury is settled in settlement. Nobody goes to court for personal injury, hardly, right? The fact that you don't even know as a criminal defense lawyer, the last thing you want to do is make an enemy out of the district attorney. There's not a criminal defense lawyer in the world that would threaten Yeah, I'm gonna give you something to talk about. They are the DA, baby. They can get you locked up for threats. That's when I said Tory's lawyers are a bunch of dumb thugs just like him, right? Now, let's get into this also, because this can't be mistaken. As much as the blogs, and I'm not saying all the blogs, but they know who they are. And that one guy that would appear, hi guys, that one guy that appeared like, hi guys, I'm right outside the courtroom. I'm just doing this and that. And he was trying to seem like he was an unbiased person. You know what I'm talking about, that journalist with the dark hair, the guy who looked like he's Middle Eastern or white or something. And he would be outside. Do you know that he would show up with Tory's team, leave with Tory's team? Do you know he had a press pass from Tory's team? And y'all were looking to him as an unbiased. Now, I'm not saying he's not a good reporter, but if you are hanging out with part of the team you're reporting on, I think that speaks to bias more than anything. As much as people like to say that Megan Thee Stallion's testimony was trash, everybody that was in there that didn't have a skin in the game said that Megan was believable. She was such a good communicator, so not articulate. Well, she was articulate, but also she was very good at conveying her emotions, and people were like really rooting for her. She told a story that just had people hanging on the edge of. She came across as believable. She came across as she was telling the truth. She came across as she was telling the truth. The blogs don't want to admit it, but that's one of the big reasons. Second of all, Kelsey came in there and literally was like, hello. I'm surprised Kelsey didn't come in on some Bill Cosby stuff with a cane. Like, I'm surprised Kelsey didn't come in with a cane and some glasses like, huh? Mommy? Is that you? Kelsey tried to come in there, act like she forgot her name, and then said, oh, I'm sorry. I just had a baby. To which half the women on the jury were like, girl, you need to stop. It's my postpartum depression. It messes with my mind. Now, to Kelsey's favor also, right? To Kelsey's favor. Yes, Tory was found guilty, everyone. Let me change the thumbnail. Thank you everybody for telling me that Tory was found guilty. But I will say that the one thing that Kelsey had not going for her, but people that were in the court, because at first I thought Kelsey was paid off and that's why she's being quiet. But people in the court said that Kelsey literally was acting like she was afraid for a second, because she kept saying, I feel unprotected. I don't want anything to happen to me and my family. I feel really, really unprotected, right? And that's why the DA asked her, is Tory the one making you feel unprotected? And she was just like, I don't know. What do you mean by that? And then Kelsey, like, she got on the stand after that and was just like acting stupid, talking about something. Say it again, because she was like rubbing it in, because the fact, even EJ was sitting up there and I was like, yo, I don't know what happened with Meg Thee Stallion, but I will say this. A lot of people take issue that she's still not friends with like a lot of people, right? A lot of people take issue with the fact that she's still not friends with a lot of people. Okay, but can I just say this, and we've all been there, right? Can I just say this, and we've all been there? You know how can you say this? You know how when friends fall apart, right? It can be a number of things. It can be, well, it can only be two things. Either you're the problem and you were an a-hole to everyone, but everybody also forgets, and this happens a lot in the Black community, right? I mean, I'm sure it happens in other communities too, but I'm just speaking to the community I know, right? Everybody's an asshole to you, and they were toxic, and you separated yourself from them, okay? And the fact that I remember thinking, okay, so Meg and Kelsey, that was messed up, Meg. But when EJ got on the stand and his testimony where he was like, Megan is an angry, mean, drunk, and this and that. And Kelsey's a little Tasmanian devil. When she gets drunk, she's all rainbows and butterflies. But Megan, she's mean. And the prosecutor was like, have you ever seen Meg touch anyone while she was drunk? No. Have you ever seen Meg get aggressive with anybody while she's drunk? No. Did you see a Meg get aggressive that night? No. Have you ever seen Megan even physically assault someone? No. So EJ, you're telling me that Meg is like a mean, angry drunk, but yet you can't think of any times or any ways that she was actually mean or angry to anyone. And then even EJ coming in there on his Law and Order stuff with those striped Beetlejuice pants. Like, it was just ridiculous. Like, I don't know, y'all. Listen, really quick, let's recap the trial. This is actually really, really important. Listen, Nana, you make a good point. You say now Miss Stallion's lawyer, Alex Sparrow, needs to go after the blogs and some YouTubers. I do believe if she wants, they will go after the blogs. But do you know what I think Alex is really around for? I really honestly think that Megan is going to sue Tory for civil damages. And Megan is going to make sure that she gets every little bit of that, every little bit of gold he has. I 100% believe that's what's going to happen. Like, listen, so let's get into the news. Hold on, y'all. Let's get into the news. I'm going to pull up the news. Let me just change this thumbnail really quick. Bear with me. Let me just get into this really quickly. Change the thumbnail so y'all can stop telling me he was found guilty. I appreciate y'all. But yeah, we've been doing the victory dance all day. Let me just change the thumbnail really quick. And then, hold on. Please hold. Hold on, let's change this thumbnail. Change it. This is the happiest I've been. There we go. Okay, it's official. Okay, so just change. Y'all know I'm in a good mood. Okay, so let's get into exactly what happened, because this is actually super important. Hold on, y'all. 1 second. This is super important. I just want to make sure we get all this in. Okay, so where are we? Tory Lanez was found guilty on all counts. The family had an outburst after the verdict was read. Tory was escorted out in handcuffs. Child, it's a circus here right about now. Woo! Listen. Hold on 1 second. This is amazing. This is amazing. Now, this is what I wanted to tell y'all. So just a little bit of what you guys need to know, because, and this was actually predicted by the legal part, because Tory, right? Because Tory is, it's 3 days before Christmas. Tory Lanez was taken in custody before the holidays. That means that Tory Lanez is not going to spend Christmas with his holidays. He was taken into custody immediately, and he's going to have to spend the holidays in jail. He's going to have to spend the holidays in jail while he's waiting for sentencing. As you guys know, when you're found guilty, then you are sentenced. So he's going to have to be there. So he is not even having a holiday. You know, you guys think that this was actually worth it? Let's actually talk, because I want to hear your opinion. I'm going to read more about the counts, what's going on. It is a circus. But did you guys actually think that any of this was actually worth it? I mean, the games Tory decided to play, what Tory decided to do, was it actually worth it? It wasn't. Justin, your dad got arrested by LAPD SWAT. Kelsey, you're probably looking at perjury. Academics. Oh, let's look at the tweet Academics said. When Academics tweeted, Megan talking about she going to sue the blogs. Lol. How are you going to do that? Especially if he's found not guilty. Laughing my ass off. Now that he was found, first of all, for him to be found, for Academics to be sued, Tory didn't have to be found not guilty, because Alex Sparrow, Meg's lawyer, said he was suing for misinformation. That faulty doctor's report, the false jury instructions that were being circulated, the false evidence of gunshot powder, the false evidence of DNA, the way they said there was no DNA when the truth was inconclusive, the false evidence that Megan lied and she never had bullets in her feet and she had glass jaw, right? Woo! Atlanta Creole said, I'm currently at LAX and baby, why are people not doing their jobs? Too busy talking about Tory and Meg. What a time to be alive. Woo! What a time to be alive. I was doubtful. I was like praying. I was like, please, this has been a rough year. Please let there be some justice. And we got justice. The funny thing is, like I said, the Dusties, are they going to accept this trial? But let's get back into this and let's see what else is going on with the Tory Lanez verdict. There's some new information I have to give you guys. Where are we? Hold on. Where are we? Let's go into, oh, here we go. Let's go into our girl, Megan Cuniff. There's this girl called Megan Cuniff, Meghann Cuniff. She was, she's at the Law and Crime Network. She did some of the best unbiased live tweeting and also write-ups, right? Let's see. Oh, listen to this. A jury has convicted Tory Lanez of all three charges for this is her live witness, for all three charges for the 2020 shooting of Megan Thee Stallion, a crazy and downright scary scene in the courtroom as his father and stepmother screamed about wicked injustice. This is so sweet. I mean, listen, it's not funny that parents are going to lose their baby, but Tory, nobody told you to shoot the gun, right? Get this. I just have to repeat it. A crazy and downright scary scene in the courtroom as his father and stepmother screamed, wicked injustice, wicked injustice. And I'm sure the judge was like, order in the court, order in the court. And people are like, ah, you know what's messed up though? Tory had a 6-year-old son there seeing all that commotion. That's the messed up part. You should have kept your baby at home, especially because Tory knew he was guilty. See, I know a lot of people like to be like, I don't know. Did Tory shoot Meg? I have more inside information. Hold on. We're going to talk about it in a second. Did Tory shoot Meg? Did he do it? I don't know. Everybody acted like Meg the Stallion had literally ceased to live at that moment. And we had to have a seance to be like, you guys, let's reconstruct the crime scene. Let's bring on medium. What actually happened? When at the whole point, I was like, you guys, the victim is still alive. She is telling us point blank, Tory shot me. The witnesses are saying, I saw Tory with a gun. The other witness is saying, Tory shot her and he ripped my hair out of the scalp. He ripped my head out of the scalp. All that stuff happened. And we're still like, I don't know. Did she step on glass? Man, and you got the nerve to be singing wicked injustice. Tory, you knew you were guilty. You knew there was a good chance of you being found guilty. And you still had your 6-year-old son sitting there watching it. Tory's a selfish psychopath. I'm just saying. I mean, that's my opinion. I don't know for certain. I'm not a psychologist. Now, let's get into more. Tory Lanez's father stood up and screamed, this is a wicked system. He screamed at the prosecutors that they are evil and they know exactly what they did here. His stepmother stood up screaming and yelling. Father was yelling about Rock Nation. Now, I just want to say this. Tory got a temper problem. Where do you think he got it from? Well, there's more. I'm just slowing this down because it's so juicy to me. Let's take it slow. I've been waiting all week for this. Do you know how many emails I got from Tory stands, patrons, I don't know what they were, threatening me, doing this, doing that, wishing me to be embarrassed, wishing I get honored, wishing this, all because I said, I think Tory shot Meg. Yeah. So anyway, do you know all the trolls that have been around? Do you know the other YouTubers, the abuse they've been giving? It's been, no, I'm just saying, let's recount. Woo! The father stood up and screamed, this is a wicked system. He screamed at the prosecutors. That's how you know somebody's out their mind. I wouldn't be screaming at the prosecutors at all. I would not be screaming at the prosecutors at all. Hold on, y'all. I'm getting more updates. Hold on. Okay. So he screamed. Let me get through this and then I'm going to make a video about this. Okay. He screamed at the prosecutor. He screamed at, hold on, y'all. He screamed at the prosecutor. He screamed at the judge about wicked injustice. He did all that mess, right? He then, what else did he do? There was something else. Oh my God, you guys, hold on. Hold on a second. This is incredible. Hold on. Hold on. We have a video of Tory's father screaming out the courtroom. Hold on, look. Oh my God.
And even though we've come to this juncture, trust me, you will see that our God does not fail. This is not
He don't fail. Hold on, sorry guys. You know what? That's one thing I agree. He don't fail, and he didn't fail us now. The only thing is, he doesn't realize your son wasn't on God's side. Hold on. It's over.
And even though we've come to this juncture, trust me, you will see that our God does not fail. This is not I know that this is wickedness. This district attorney.
Is he Jamaican? Y'all, God does not lose. I agree. God does not lose, but baby, your son was not on God's side. He wasn't on God's side. Let me slip through this real quick. Let me get through this real quick. And then we're going to think, because y'all got to hear what. So y'all see now how he was yelling, right? Yelling wicked ways. Hold on, let's get in, right? Tory Lanez was remanded on the spot, let out in handcuffs by shift deputies. There was a total 6 total in the courtroom, 2 at door and 4 behind Lanez. And there was quite a scene when they tried to get Lanez's father and stepmother under control. One woman in the gallery held up her hand as Tory's father was screaming about Rock Nation and wicked injustice, repeating in the name of Jesus. Deputies were forcing them all the way out the hallway and telling the gallery to stay seated. Woo! Listen. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Right now, reporters are in the media area on the 12th floor hoping to get a comment from someone. They can't get back. Megan Thee Stallion's lawyer has released a statement. He said, the jury got it right. I'm thankful there was justice for Meg. They said there's absolutely pandemonium erupted in the court shortly before Tory Lanez was led away in handcuffs. Woo, woo. One woman turned and looked at the reporter sitting behind her, including me, and said, Jay-Z is a B. Report that. Jay-Z is a B. What the hell? Tory Lanez's people are in sin. They're insane, and I see where he got it from. All this stuff. Imagine being a grown man screaming about God and justice and does not miss when your son shot a woman in cold blood and lied about it. And you sitting here screaming about God. I know God is sitting there with his heavenless saying, all right, who else? Everybody in the, you know what? How about the whole bloodline? Not the little boy. He's still innocent. But everybody else in the bloodline, let's get him out of here. Gabriel, you know what to do. If anybody comes looking, if anybody comes there with lace fronts and wait, how does Tory Lanez's father has hair? Oh, wait, no. Baldness follows the woman line. And then listen, there's nothing wrong with being bald. There's nothing wrong with losing hair. Don't get me wrong. But Tory Lanez having the nerve to wear a lace front like he the baddie on the block while people scream about women being emotional. Please. Anyway, y'all. Listen, he's a father. Listen, he's a father. And somebody said he's a father and he loves his son. I get that he loves his son. But part of being a father and raising a son, raising a man, is raising a man to take accountability for his mistakes. You can love your son. You can stand 10 toes down with your son. You can cry with your son, hold hands, pray over your son. But the fact that you don't want your son to be held accountable for his actions, that's not a father. That's not a father. You were raising a weak person. So I understand why he is the father. And I understand what fathers do. I got a father myself. My family has like this. Like I understand that, but this is my opinion. And I get it. But you're now screaming that it was wicked and evil and using God's name and blasphemy because you don't like that your son was held impossible. I can understand if he said, I don't care. This is my son. And I don't care about no Megan, but you're using God's name. You're hiding behind God when you know your son is a devil incarnate sitting there. Man, get his ass off the street. I'm just saying, listen, be a father. Love your son. Love your kids. That's what you're supposed to do. But don't sit there and lie on them. Don't sit there and try to turn this into a conspiracy. Oh, no. No, don't do that. Tory Lanez got exactly what he deserved. Tory Lanez got exactly what he deserved. Definitely. He got exactly what he deserved. I am ecstatic that happened. I'm also literally thinking, how can we make this like more uncomfortable for Tory Lanez? Like, think about it. He's now going to be sentenced. What is he looking at? Hold on. Let's see what charges he's looking at. This is actually important. Let's see what Tory Lanez is looking at. Hold on. Let's see. Let me see. Let's see what Tory Lanez is looking at for his cases. Oh, hold on really quick. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, we have a special guest. Hold on. Hey, we have bodyguard. How are you?
Oh my goodness.
I put in the link in the thing. God is done. She has her own YouTube channel. You guys have to sub. She is literally trying to do this full time. She has been in the Meg Thee Stallion Tory Lanez trial every single day, going live, taking notes, and giving us some unbiased but factual truth, right? Dr. Payne Nestor said Meg's case was the third time that we know of that Tiny Tim was reckless with a gun. I hope anyone who made a deal with it regrets it. Boomerang, please. I know that's right. Thank you so much for the super chat, Dr. Payne Nestor. So listen, God is done. Also, a link to her YouTube channel is going to be below in the link. Literally, we have to make a separate video about this, but really quick while you're here, God is done. We heard there was pandemonium in the courtroom. Can you describe the scene? She was eyewitness, y'all.
All I can say is chaos, so much just vitriol. So basically, I'm sure you heard the verdicts already, right? Three guilty verdicts. The father stood up first, yelled so loud, "You guys are wicked system." I mean, he went on. I think he said, he was talking about God and punishment, and basically sounded like he was trying to curse people. I mean, I'm just saying.
If they find some chickens with some feathers laying up by the curb, I'm just saying, burn some sage around you. So go on.
Super, yeah, for sure. So he went on, and then the stepmother with the afro, I don't know if you guys have seen the pictures. That's the father's wife, which is Tory. He said it was his stepmother who prayed with him. He said they're Christian, they pray, because someone tried to give him a crystal bracelet. He didn't take it. But anyway, she stood up and also joined in and was pointing and fingers and shouting, and they were in unison. It was crazy. And also their people, they had children with them, not just Tory's son. There were like two other children witnessing all this. I mean, I don't even know it went on for like a few minutes. And I was wondering, why are the deputies not escorting? I guess they couldn't handle, they weren't expecting it probably. And they had to manage the crowd also, because people were trying to take out their phones. They were like yelling at people, "Put your phones away." People were trying to leave. They were trying to, it was just a whole zoo, circus, everything you could put together with regard to chaos. That was that.
What was Tory's reaction when they read the verdict?
To me, I would say shocked. Like, he just didn't have to me, I didn't see any emotion. I've been telling people that he's been very reactive as far as when he hears things. He either, he might look shocked or like, heck no, or, he makes faces. He also rolled his eyes a lot. But when this happened, he's just stark still. I didn't see a blink. Like, he just looked surprised. Like,
really?
They did. Yeah, he looked surprised. They did eventually cuff him and walk him out in cuffs.
How did he look when he was walking out? What was his face like? Was it like,
or was it like his
like,
head was down, I think his head was down, and I saw him from the side because I was so busy looking at the chaos, I didn't even realize they were handcuffing him and escorting him out. So when I did look, he was it was a side view of him. He was looking down, his hands, obviously behind his back, and they just escorted him through a side door. They finally got the family out. He was there while this was happening, and then they finally got the family out. The press was coming out and the public, and they stopped my group like we were coming out because they felt like it wasn't safe. So they pushed us back into the courtroom. The press started, yes, half of us. Now, mind you, we know how press works. It's a timing game. You want to beat everybody, right? So a lot of the press, the big ones, I don't know if you know who Megan Cuniff is. She's somebody that people follow on Twitter a lot. She was one of the ones kept back. And they were yelling at these people, you cannot keep us here. This is against our rights as press. We need to get out. Like, I mean, that just added. That was Megan Cuniff. She's on Twitter and she does breakdowns. Like, people usually post her breakdowns. I forgot what her platform is. But anyway, I didn't know the other people she was the main one yelling, but other people were like, yeah, we can't stay here. Like, we have to get out of here. We have a job to do. Like, so it took about maybe not 5 minutes, but it seemed like it took a long time for they finally let us out because the yelling was still audible outside. There were also weeps in the courtroom of people who were crying and upset. So the fans were upset. People, crying and just sobbing. So what else? Oh, before they let us out, a gentleman was escorted. Yeah.
Sorry, keep talking.
Oh, okay. I was just saying that before they let us out the court, a gentleman was brought in. I think he was with their team, and they put him in front of the judge. I mean, I don't know what they were going to do with him, but I think something might have happened where they brought him in. Then they let us out. I don't know if he was in cuffs. I couldn't tell, but I know they had him. It looked like his hands were behind his back. So he probably did something crazy in the hallway, and they had him, I think, face the judge. I'm not sure. They escorted us out at that point. And of course, everybody outside is going crazy. Downstairs, the paparazzi, they wouldn't let us out that particular door, the one we usually go out. I did see his lawyers. Actually, they were right next to me just now, actually, a few minutes ago. I think they're still talking to people. But yeah, that was the scene, child.
What was his lawyers doing?
What were his lawyers doing? I didn't see his lawyers when all this was going on. I think they might have been talking to him. I'm trying to think. I didn't see any upset look on their face. Kind of like they expected it. That's what I got. Like, oh, they probably knew that this was going to go like this. I took it when I saw them because I'm like, they look pretty. Even before the verdict was read, he and the prosecutors were kind of chucking it up and smiling. So I was like, so do they know something? Or they seem happy, Tory also, they said something to Tory and he smiled too. So I was like, oh, he's in a good mood. Maybe they found out that he is not going to be found guilty. He's going to be acquitted. But no.
Listen, they got the check cleared. So they were just like, the check cleared. I do want to know this. So we're hearing rumors that Tory is looking at about 22 years in jail.
Yeah, for all three. Like, so the first two that he initially had, those counts, they said that he was looking at 22 years. When they added the third count of gross negligence carried 6 years and it's deportable. Now, the judge did say that there would be no more time added.
If you pause, it's 6 years. The first charge is 6 years, carries 6 years, and it's a deportable offense. So
the third charge.
The third charge. So they can make two things happen. He serves his whole jail sentence in America, and then they kick him back to Canada when it's over, or they send him to Canada and he serves his jail time over there. But go on. Sorry about that.
No, it's all good.
Tory Lanez is in custody, everybody. He was taken in custody in the court. He is guilty on all three charges. Okay, so keep going. I'm sorry, got it done.
Oh no, it's all good. I didn't read verbatim. I'm pretty sure you saw how they read the counts and stuff. So, I was gonna say, what was I gonna say? I had something else, but
so you were saying that. Oh no, we were talking about the three counts. I said it's 22 years, and you said the first count,
the first two, because he got the two counts together initially, And with them together, it was a 22-year, he was looking at 22 years. Now, we were told that the third count would not add time to the 22 years. So he's not looking at additional years because of the third count, from what I understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do they call that? Concurrent? Or,
yeah, it's going to run concurrent.
Yeah.
So, so he's not looking at any additional years. It will run concurrent. What was Megan? Was Megan the Stallion actually in court to hear the jury verdict?
No. I believe her people were there, maybe Rock Nation, because her team would come in when it was arguments, like opening and closing, as well as this verdict. I believe they were there because that courtroom was packed. They had to add chairs. So I think they were there for that, to get it firsthand.
Okay, so they were there for that, to get it firsthand. Megan's team, was her lawyer Alex Sparrow there? What was the prosecutor's reaction? Did they seem relieved? Did they seem confident? What did they seem like?
Well, when they were initially sitting there, they were sitting there waiting for the longest. Like, the defense hadn't come in until right before the verdict, and Tory came in a little before them. So the prosecutors were sitting there talking to each other, they seemed unbothered. They seemed unbothered, though. They didn't seem tense or stressed. Like, they just...
The funny thing about this is, when I first started reading about the Tory Lanez Megan trial, and not from a year ago, but just like, a week before trial started, and the prosecutor let everybody know what he had, a lot of criminal defense lawyers and public defendants literally in Twitter laughed and said, you guys, this is the most open and shut case there is. And they basically looked at all of Tory's antics as just like, just like child's play. So on one hand, it's a foregone conclusion, but I'm sure you've seen it in court before, how things can go horribly left, even though it is an open and shut case. Did you ever get the feeling while you were in watching the trial that it was going to go bad for Megan?
Well, I did have some feelings that this might not go her way, because there were two jurors in particular that I personally felt were always for Tory. Whenever his defense would make claims against Megan and this, they were nodding their head yes and smirking a smile. Like, I was like, oh wow, they're not even hiding their support for Tory. But I was shocked, because I kind of did think they might be a hung jury. But being that they came back today, I knew I knew it wasn't, because we figured if they went over past Christmas, then we probably thought maybe there's a hung jury. But
hold on. DA just released a statement. Let's see what they got to say. The DA and Tory Lanez trial. I'm Googling right now. Dawn, keep talking. Goddess Dawn. She has the Goddess Dawn, like the sunlight. She has a YouTube channel. Goddess Dawn Speaks. She is, I put her link down in the description box. Please join her YouTube channel. We want to run her numbers up. She's been doing an amazing job of covering this trial every day live tweeting it. She covers a lot of current topics. She could really, listen, you guys, whenever I recommend someone, they are super, super legit, but we want to kind of run her numbers up. And get things going so we can continue to do this full time. We need more people full time.
I appreciate it so much. I really do, because I have a business which is commission based, and because I've been here for 2 weeks, it's been like a little challenging. All I'm saying is that's greatly appreciated.
So the link to our YouTube channel is right there. If you do leave the live on your way out, please hit her up, give her a sub. If you don't like it, you can always unsub. I'm telling you, you're gonna love her content. I saw her content and I subbed right away. Yeah. So here's what the DA said. Right? Here's what the DA said. The California prosecutor told jurors Wednesday, right? The California prosecutor, hey, what's up, Afi? I'll bring you up in 1 second. The California prosecutor told jurors on Wednesday that Meg the Stallion would never have subjected herself to the torrent of public abuse she's received if she wasn't telling the truth about rapper Tory Lanez shooting her in the feet and wounding her in the summer of 2020. Deputy Assistant the DDA Alexander Bott said the jury should believe Megan's anguish, evident in her testimony last week, and her courage in fighting through it. Jurors should also provide Megan with justice by convicting Lanez, he said, citing the scorn she received online and in parts of the hip-hop community. She said, why would she lie? She's been subjected to a stream of hate. For what? For coming forward as a victim of domestic violence? I know that's right.
Yes.
Listen, there's what Tory Lanez attorney said in it. They said that basically Megan Pete is a liar. She lied about everything in this case from the beginning. She lied under oath here. Well, we see how that turned out. Okay, so yeah, listen, this was a mess. Let's bring Afi up really quick.
Afi,
hey, Afi, how are you?
Hey guys,
Queen Afi.
I'm in the car, like I just left the court, so bear with me and the lighting and such. But hey,
you're gorgeous.
You look gorgeous.
Of course.
So Afi is also she's a criminal lawyer, 7 years in. She knows this in and out.
Yes.
Afi, so a couple of things we want to talk about, and we want to get your impression of this, whether you thought this case was open and shut, and also we want to talk about whether Megan, do you think, I think she is, it looks like I smell a civil trial coming along. I see a civil suit against Tory to run up his pockets, and also there were threats that she's going to sue bloggers for that were releasing misinformation. But let's not jump the gun. Let's talk about were you expecting this verdict? And did you think in the beginning this was an open and shut case?
well, Goddess can tell you, I definitely predicted a guilty verdict, and I thought it was going to be a very quick verdict. I knew that we would have a verdict before the holidays for sure. I did not anticipate guilty on all 3 charges. I thought that he would only be found guilty of the 3rd charge that they added, which was a negligent discharge of a weapon, I believe. Have the perfect language for that, but I did not think it was going to be all 3. But I knew a guilty verdict was coming because there were just a few things that he could not defeat, and irrespective of how Kelsey testified, no one could explain the Tory shot Meg 911. I don't think anybody believed that Kelsey was a criminal mastermind, and immediately after the guns were fired, she began to set up the stage to incriminate Tory. So that really couldn't be explained. And also the jail call saying, I'm sorry, I really wouldn't have done that specific thing had I not been drunk that night. So I think those are some things you couldn't overcome.
Definitely couldn't overcome. So he's guilty on all 3 counts. What we were just talking about, the maximum and the minimum that he would actually be guilty of. It's about 22 years.
I think his, so I read somewhere, I didn't do the research myself, but I did read somewhere that his exposure was 23 years. But there are so many mitigating factors, like the fact that he's got children, or he's got at least one son that we know of. He doesn't have any prior convictions that I'm aware of. So, those are his standing in the community. You have to look at a whole host of factors that are going to impact whatever he's sentenced. Usually there's something called like a pre-sentencing report that a judge will order, and he'll be interviewed. He'll get letters from friends, family, and people who vouch for him in the community, and that will impact his sentence. But I promise you, he will not get anywhere near 20 years. That's my prediction.
Well, really quick, I want to see what your prediction of the lowest he could get. But before we do that, let me just take Talcha J, thank you so much for the super chat. The DA released a statement. We're in the middle of reading it. Thank you so much for shouting out. And Janice, girl, thank you so much for the super chat. Everybody, thanks Janice for the super chat. You said thank you for covering the case. Meg deserved justice. She did deserve justice because I think the DA got it right. And the fact that everybody was, not everyone, but a lot of mainstream media was overlooking the fact this is a domestic violence case. If what they're saying is true, and Tory was chopping her down, God, Megan, please go wash yourself in bleach. But if Tory was chopping it down, this is domestic violence, and it makes it even more horrible what happened. So I'm glad that people saw the truth. Now let's get back to what do you think? And I know you're just putting estimates, right? But in your experience, with looking at 22 years, what do you think the minimum he would get is?
I don't, I'd have to read the statute and see what the minimum is. If it's 0 to 20, 0 to 23 years, or if everything is probatable. I'm not sure. But again, the big thing is he doesn't have any prior convictions. So that's a huge factor. Also, again, his standing in the community. There are a lot of things, but he certainly won't get. I don't think he'll get double digits unless somebody's trying to make an example out of him.
Listen, even single digits, I think is good. Now, this is a question from Black Love, and thank you again so much, Janice, for the super chat. Black Love says, "Can you do a retrial? I stand with Meg." Do you guys ladies want to answer that or?
No, you can't do a retrial, but he can certainly appeal.
Appeal, right.
So, but he's been remanded to custody right now. So, I'm sure he'll file an appeal.
Okay. Yeah, he should file an appeal, but for those of you guys who don't know, the appeal cannot double guess what the jury thinks or said. The appeal is basically trying to say that something legally in procedure was not followed correctly, and because that they need to appeal it. They need to review it. So when you do it, could you take us through the steps of what his appeal would look like and what grounds he can actually file an appeal on?
So I think tonight, his attorneys are going to be just like parsing through everything that happened, parsing through the transcript and trying to find if there was some type of error and some type of harmful error, either procedurally from the judge or if there's even new evidence that can be found or anything really. I think they'll interview the jurors as well to find out if something was amiss during deliberations. They'll be looking for anything to base their appeal on tonight and tomorrow. Like that's their next step. Is it just me?
Okay, sorry about that. So anyway, everybody's celebrating around here. Like, we got to go celebrate. So listen, we just got the statement of the star. We're going to get back to that. But listen to this. We just got the statement of the Star Peterson. He said, this is the DA. I want to start by highlighting the bravery of Megan Pete. You showed incredible courage and vulnerability with your testimony despite repeated and grotesque attacks that you did not deserve. You faced unjust and despicable scrutiny that no woman should ever face, and you've been an inspiration to others across LA County and the nation. Women, especially Black women, that's right, we up. We win it in 2023. We're up. Black women, woo, finally we got one. Women, especially Black women, are afraid to report crimes like assault and sexual violence because they are too often not believed. This trial, for the second time this month, highlighted the numerous ways that our society must do better for women. I'd also like to thank the jurors for their time and thoughtful deliberation, and our trial team for the tireless pursuit of truth. You spent countless hours away from your families during the holiday season, preparing this case and finding justice for Miss Pete. Your sacrifice is appreciated. That was the District Attorney George Gascon, December 23rd, 2022.
Oh, wow.
What's more, get this, and this is just me. Tory Lanez is the worst father in the world because not only did he traumatize Meg, but he traumatized his child. I do believe that little boy had no business. I don't care whether he was guilty or innocent. There's certain things that children just shouldn't be around, not if you can't help it. They said Tory's 6-year-old son started crying in the front row after his grandfather was ushered out. So his dad caused such a commotion, he had to be ushered out. Tory was looking at the child and patted his chest to reassure him.
This is the thing. I don't raising dysfunction. Like, woo. I feel, listen, honestly, like I don't feel like it was a place for a child, but honestly, that's like the last place he could see his dad because they definitely handcuffed him and remanded him into custody. So I mean, like,
is that the memory you want?
No,
read me a bedtime story and then make me breakfast and kiss me on the head before you leave. I don't want my last memory to be a grandpa acting stupid. Like he's like in the book of Revelation speaking in tongues, grandma going crazy. Like whatever happened to like Hallmark style, you know, like make s'mores the night before, tell me how much you love me, how special I am, make me breakfast, and then I go see you on visiting day. I just think that's a traumatizing. A kid just found out his father's being taken away. His whole life is upside down. Tory Lanez ain't ish, but that is that boy's father, and everybody loves their parents. And then you got that trauma of like, oh my God, what's going to happen to my daddy? And then your grandmom and grandpa are yelling like he just got sentenced to like Dante's Inferno. It's just traumatizing. Like, can you imagine? And through all that, nobody was thinking about the kid. The grandmom and grandpa weren't. They were just acting a fool. Like, again, different strokes for different folks. I hope to never be in that situation. to even understand how I would act. But I don't know. I just felt like I would have been like literally on the phone with a lawyer. Like, all right, so what are we doing? You guys are fired, and let me get another lawyer on the phone. So
it was definitely traumatizing. I know it was traumatizing for the audience, so I know it was traumatizing for the kids.
Yeah.
It was just very, very sad.
Yeah, there were other kids there as well. Yeah, yesterday and today there were other children as well, and it was so chaotic and crazy. But you know, they could have a different type of lifestyle. Maybe the kids are used to this type of, you know, I don't know. But before you say, let me just tell you, my battery's about to die, so I'm gonna drop down. I'm trying to leave this courthouse because I'm afraid.
Wait, really quick, you guys, because we're gonna wrap this live up. Afi and also Goddess Don Speaks. The links to YouTube and to their socials are down in the description box. And also, you guys, hit me up offline because I would like to make a quick video, like a quick 20-minute video that we can also post. If not, I'll just make the video myself. But if you guys want to come on the 20-minute video, let me know. I'll send you a link to the StreamYard. You guys are getting all our inside business. But listen, y'all, we're getting out of here. Thank you so much for joining. We're gonna drop a video with more information. Look for it like the next half hour. And you guys, don't click off. But you guys, all right, you guys, thank you so much for joining. I know I always call out of the rock once every year for a live, but I exist. I'm not an AI person. All right, you guys. So look out for the video.
Thank you so much.
And happy holidays to everybody.
Yes.
Okay, let's